Good evening and welcome back to Concerned Citizens Media. I have news and Concerned Citizens comment on the news. Let's start first from the breaking news. ZeHabesha official media reported that about 60 Oromo Liberation Front fighters have controlled the military base abandoned by the Ethiopian army in Western Welega, Guliso Warada or district yesterday. The Habesha media credited the Amaras Media Center for this reporting. According to this media report, the Oromo Liberation Front fighters were in celebratory mood and gunshots were heard for several hours in the area. This report also mentioned that the Oromo Liberation Front fighters forcibly gathered about 250 Amara residents into the local school compound and attacked them with gunshots and bombs indiscriminately. The report didn't mention the exact casualty figures for this attack. Various other medias are reporting the deaths of more than 50 Amaras. The Habesha media also mentioned the burning of about 100 residential homes. Those escaped from the scene are calling on the government to save them and others from attacks and help them to take the injured to the hospitals for treatment and those who were killed to have proper burials. The Oromo Liberation Front armed wing leader Jal Marro denied this allegation and blamed the Prosperity Party for this attack, claiming the government is looking for the opportunity to create conflict between Oromos and Amara and extend its hold on illegitimate power. Mr. Abiy Ahmed, Mr. Shimalis Abdisa, and other officials expressed their condolences for the victims and their families. Concerned Citizens Media strongly encourage the unity of all Ethiopians to avoid these repeated sufferings of Ethiopians under these illegitimate authorities in Ethiopia. They are leading the country into an unstoppable chaos and destruction. We must end our silence and our divisive politics or activities to tackle the existential threat we are facing in Ethiopia. We must stop standing with old EPRDF party members who changed their names but not their conducts. We must stop wishing for free and fair election or peace or stability and justice from these criminals. We must come back to the leading motto, Tanan Kenya, to shorten the lives of TPLF children and establish a bright future for all Ethiopians. Concerned citizens media also disappointed or saddened by the killing of all peaceful citizens in Ethiopia, whether it is in Oromia region or Benishangul or Walaita zone or any area. So we don't want such things to happen between Ethiopians. So we have to come together to stop these atrocities. And the main cause is Prosperity Party and the leadership. So we have to come together to remove them from power and establish a peaceful country for all of us. Qeerro's call for the fifth embargo on Ethiopia to end oppression and the suffering of Oromos in Oromia, plus to put an end to the illegitimate government in Oromia and Ethiopia. Qeerro's called the fifth embargo for 5 days, starting November 2nd through November 6, 2020. Embargo was one of the many strategies Qeerros used to remove the TPLF domination from Ethiopian politics. The revolution, brought by the deaths and injuries of thousands and thousands of Qeerros and others, has been reversed and hijacked by Abiy Ahmed and his supporters in Ethiopia. Instead of enjoying the fruits of the revolution, the Oromos have been subjected to the worst situation on their own land. They are living under constant threat from the military command posts and other security apparatus and prosperity cadres. Torture, rapes, killings, and other serious human rights violations have become the common occurrences on Oromos in Oromia region. The illegitimate government led by Abiy Ahmed is using every available resources to crack down on Oromos and their politicians. So, Qeerros called on all Oromos in the country and in the diaspora community to stand together and to make this fifth embargo successful, or to end all the atrocities Oromos are facing on their own land. The fifth Qeerros embargo focuses on the following major areas. The Oromo region, Parliament, and the federal authorities in Addis Ababa have no legitimacy to carry out any public undertakings. Their orders and decisions are null in Oromia and in the federal level. We support the call for the establishment of the transitional government in Oromia. Thousands and thousands of innocent Oromos and our prominent politicians such as Johar Mohammed, Baqqala Garba, Hamza Borana, Abdi Raggasa, Mikhail Boran, Colonel Gammachu Ayana, and others have been thrown into jail by using terrorism charges as excuses. They are not terrorists. They are the victims of political assassination. They are in jail because they are fighting for the freedom of Oromos and their land. We do not expect justice from this illegitimate government. Our strength and determination in our fight against the oppressors will eventually lead their release, as we successfully did in our previous movements. That's Qeerroo's statement. There will be no peace and stability in Oromia and in Ethiopia if the oppressors continue their hold on these political prisoners and do not stop their atrocities in Oromia on Oromos. The authorities who put these prominent Oromo politicians in jail are responsible for any violation on the safety and well-being of these Oromo political prisoners. The international community is also advised to pay attention to this matter and encouraged to take notice about the concerns of these Oromo political prisoners. The Qeerroo's embargo is intended also to focus on the economy. All transportation activities in Oromia will be shut down. Only emergency and vehicles used for locust protection operation will be exempted from the Qeerroo's embargo. Roads connecting to Oromia region to other regions and to the border countries will be closed under this embargo. Farm products such as vegetables, fruits, sheep, goats, chicken, eggs, livestock, and others are not allowed to be brought into the market. Tax collecting agencies are not allowed to collect tax for this illegitimate government. Qeerroo's call upon all citizens not to pay any kind of income tax and property tax for this illegitimate government in the country. Qeerroo's also called on Oromos not to use the services of the government banks and insurance companies. These measures will continue until the legitimate government is formed in Oromia. Qeerroo's warned major penalty for any vehicles or individuals that violate any part of this embargo. Qeerroo's also called on the military, the federal police, the intelligence officers, the Oromia Special Forces, and the Prosperity members to align themselves with the public movement instead of serving a legitimate government in the country. It also warned Oromo Prosperity and parliamentary members not to support the authorities in 4 kilos. Oromo Media Network has many more details about Qeerroo's embargo. So concerned citizens, media listeners are advised to watch the Qeerroo's embargo in detail on OMN Media. Trump supporters gathered outside Attorney General Bill Barr's Virginia home and demanded he take action and lock up Joe Biden in the wake of son Hunter Biden's emails. The group was spotted in McLean, Virginia on Saturday afternoon by a neighbor who claimed they were there to express frustration that Barr is not doing enough to lock up Joe Biden, according to Washington Post journalist Glenn Kaiser. The Justice Department said that Attorney Barr went outside to greet the crowd and chatted with them amiably. Photos show that one of the protesters had a white horse in the suburban neighborhood for reasons that were unclear. As you might heard, this election is very serious. We are hearing several scary concerns like violence after the election is declared or not accepting the results of the election, or and about unprecedented gun sales in the country. These are all scary stuffs during this campaign season and election season. Be careful out there, but make sure you vote for the right candidate that can stabilize the country from such chaotic events we are witnessing these days. The long-awaited date, November 3, is already here. It's tomorrow. Do not be intimidated by distraction. Your vote cannot bring back the lives of 230,000 plus Americans who lost their battle to COVID-19, but your vote can prevent or minimize the future days from it by putting the right kind of leadership in the White House. So let's come out and vote, and let's encourage others to vote tomorrow, November 3, 2020. That's all I have for today from Concerned Citizens Media. Thank you for listening. But I will leave you with a daily show short video about the election. Enjoy it and get out tomorrow and vote for the right candidate. Let's listen to
how's everybody feeling? Feeling relaxed? Chilled out? Casually chewing your own tongue off from the stress? Because it has all come down to this. And on the weekend before election day, voters got one more chance to compare the two candidates head to head.
I'm running as a proud Democrat, but I will govern as an American president for everybody.
Under Biden, there will be no school, no graduations, no weddings, no Thanksgivings, no Easters, no Christmases, and no 4th of July. Other than that, you're going to have a wonderful life.
I will work as hard for those who don't support me as those who do support me. I mean it.
His new deal in those sunglasses, he was very agitated, right? See him yesterday? And then you'd have like two cars honk, honk, honk.
That's the job of a president. The duty to care. The duty to care for everyone.
When your day is too post-worthy.
Don't tell anybody, but let me wait till a little bit after the election.
Well, I think we know who Dr. Fauci is voting for. I mean, it's actually nice to have the election be that clear for you. Because most people are like, which candidate better reflects my vision of America? Dr. Fauci's like, all right, which candidate isn't going to fire my ass? You know, I can safely say that I've never seen a president go after individual people. I'm sure Trump hasn't just started pulling out the phone book like, what about Mary Henderson on Maple Street, everybody? Should we lock her up? Okay. The one piece of good news for Dr. Fauci is that now that his firing has become a rally chant, like lock her up or build the wall, it means it'll actually never happen. And by the way, I love how Trump is just saying that Biden is going to get rid of all the holidays. It's just like making it up. They're all gone, folks. No Christmas, no Thanksgiving. And I don't know what Kwanzaa is, but it's gone. And no more Toyota-thon. You won't even be able to wish your neighbor happy Honda days. And Trump is right. If you vote for Biden, there's no more holidays. But if you vote for Trump, then every day will be Dia de los Muertos. Either way, Biden and Trump's tones could not be more different. I mean, at this point, the election is like choosing between going to the ballet and breaking into the zoo to watch chimps mate. You know which one fits your vibe. And as November 3rd looms, there is no question that the streets are getting tense. I mean, as an African, I'm used to a certain level of pre-election threats, but whew, this is getting out of hand.
Here in New York City and elsewhere around the country, there is a concern that the tensions are rising to the point where a lot of people feel unsafe. Police in Graham, North Carolina, using pepper spray on what was said to be peaceful demonstrators who had marched to the polls to Beverly Hills over the weekend. About 4,000 pro-Trump supporters gathered to rally in support of the president. Anti-Trump demonstrators showed up and they clashed. Back here in the tri-state, there were caravans of pro-Trump supporters who actually blocked major thoroughfares, bridges, stopping people from getting into New York City at one point. The backup was in one area more than 5 miles.
And across the United States, businesses boarding up their windows, their doors, and taking other security measures in anticipation and fear of possible election unrest. Authorities are expected to be putting back into place a non-scalable fence around the White House. A group of Trump supporters surround a Biden campaign bus in Texas on Friday. It forced Biden's camp to cancel a rally.
Damn, America's going full Mad Max right now. And Trump might deny encouraging these people, but then why was he riding on the back? That's irresponsible. I mean, at least he's wearing a mask. That's one step in the right direction, but still. And you know shit is real when even the White House is putting up extra fences and barriers. Although hopefully they're not letting Donald Trump decide what a good barrier is. We don't need a fence. We should just put a slightly steep ramp. No one can get past that. They're so dangerous. Although if it were me, I wouldn't put up an extra fence. I'd just paint the White House a different color. Yeah. Then when Antifa come, I'll be like, the White House? No, this is the purple house. Try down the block, dearie. But yes, everyone is worried about post-election violence. And I'll be honest with you. If shit goes down, you're not going to see me going downtown and looting. No. I'm going to be looting at the outlet malls. They've got much better deals. And look, I'm not looking for a fight. Don't play around, guys. I'm always ready to throw down if I have to. Is it bad? Now I have to taste my blood like The Rock. Look, we all need to be reasonable. There's no need for violence. Although, according to the candidates, maybe there is.
I don't think Sleepy Joe would be a good fighter, do you? One gentle little touch to the face, and he's down. He's down, and he wouldn't get up very quickly.
The president likes to portray himself. I love this. Likes to portray himself as a tough guy. When you were in high school, wouldn't you have liked to take the shot? Anyway, it's a different story, but anyway. A macho man.
Of all the people in the world that I could fight, that's probably the one I'd like to most fight. You know what? Boom. I didn't even have to close. I just, ding, he's gone.
That's right. Joe Biden and Donald Trump are ready to throw down. Woo! This will probably be the first UFC match sponsored by Life Alert. It's also going to be a tough fight to referee. I mean, you won't be able to tell which one of them has a concussion. Seriously, this is a lot of shit talking from two guys that only have about 3 falls left in them. Instead of trainers in their corners, they're just going to have Jamaican nurses. Great round, Mr. Biden. It's time for your pills, okay? You want them with the cranberry or with the applesauce? But Donald Trump doesn't have to fistfight Joe Biden to win this election. All he has to do is stop mail-in votes from being counted, because most of those are from Democrats. And it sounds like that's exactly his plan.
Overnight, the president arguing the race should be called on Election Day.
We should know the result of the election on November 3rd. That's the way it's been, and that's the way it should be.
But that's not true and never has been. President Trump saying he'll challenge the results if he loses.
We're going to go in the night of, as soon as that election's over, We're going in with our lawyers.
Falsely claiming ballots counted after Tuesday are illegitimate.
I think it's a terrible thing when people or states are allowed to tabulate ballots for a long period of time after the election is over.
So, just to be clear, Trump is flat out saying that after election day, you should just stop counting the votes. Even if the votes were cast on time, which makes no sense. It's like saying that, oh, that's not your kid because it was born after its due date. My baby was supposed to arrive on January 4th. I don't know who this stranger is, just popping out my belly acting like you family. But let's be real. Nobody's surprised by this. I mean, Trump wants the race called on election night because he thinks that'll ensure that he wins. But I promise you now, if Biden wins on election night, well, then Trump will say, you got to hold everything until all the votes are counted. And then when all the votes are counted, Trump will say, oh, we should hold everything until all the votes are recounted. We know what's happening here, man. Trump is that kid who keeps changing the rules until he wins. Best of 5, best of 13, best of 123. Maybe it would help if we explained this to Trump in terms that he would understand. Donald, we have to wait for the election results because right now they're under audit by the IRS.
Okay, that's a daily show, and it's an excellent short video. It makes you worry one hand, and to end all this chaotic scene in the future, we have to use our voting power to change the leadership. All the problems, all the burning of the businesses, the White House, all this is unnecessary if this guy was acting responsibly as a leader of the free nation. But he was talking stupid, talking trash about the candidate, about others, acting like childish, so lying without taking any responsibility for all these days. So I hope the American people will make their decision based on his 3+ years service in the White House. They know it. They know how he did in domestic politics, in global issues, how he dealt with our friendly countries, NATO's, all issues, World Health Organizations. So I hope he will be removed tomorrow. I hope we'll celebrate a bright future for the next 4 years plus, because we don't want all the lies to continue, all the irresponsibilities to continue again for the next 4 years. Let's come out and vote and change the leadership who can deal with COVID-19 and other internal and external politics with a serious leadership and experience. Thank you again for watching Concerned Citizens Media. I will be back tomorrow if the election is declared with clear numbers. Hopefully it will be clear and it will be declared, hopefully with a big margin, so that President Trump will be denied about his false claims, all the claims about cheating, about mail voting, all this. I hope it will be a big difference in voting numbers, so we will have clear vision for the country, no chaos, no fighting. So let's pray for peaceful transfer of power in America. Thank you again. Bye. Stay safe and come out and vote tomorrow.